Hi everybody, welcome back to Keeping It Real with Marilyn and Steve. Thank you for joining us again today. And today I'm going to talk about using the items that you have in your pantry, especially if it's items that you have stored from your garden from the previous year. So we have items that we stored last year in cold storage in our pantry, which stays very cold. And I'm gonna take you in to see what I found when I went in there today. As we're doing our pantry challenge, I came in to our pantry to get some onions for some home-baked beans that I'm making. And what did I find? But that most of our onions, as you can see, the red ones are all starting to sprout. And the yellow onions are doing very, very well. So here's some more of the red and some more red and some more of the yellow. So I'm going to grab some of these red ones. You can see I've got one yellow one starting to sprout, so I'm going to grab that as well. And we're going to get back out into the kitchen where it's a lot warmer. So we're back in the kitchen with the onions, and we have, you're probably going to hear my dog, he wants to keep me company. We have our onions here. I just wanted to kind of go over with you what type of onions that we had planted and when they're supposed to be harvested, at least in our area, and what they consider long-term versus short-term and why we bought the ones we did. So the yellow onions, which kept, as you can see, they kept much better and they're still doing great, are the Patterson onion. And we did order these as live starts last year, both type of onion. Now we chose the Patterson because they are listed as their longest storing onion. Now to put this into perspective, these were harvested within 2 or 3 weeks of each other. So you can see the difference in how, let me pull this one up, this one's really got a nice top on it, on how they're doing. So the red are considered a red burgundy, and this onion's trying to run away from me. And these are listed as short-term storage. So we knew these wouldn't last as long, but short-term is kind of relative. We harvested the red onions last July, and it is now January. So we have had these in our pantry for quite a while, and my plan today is to go through all of the onions that are in the pantry, take out anything that has started to sprout, get those diced up, use what I need today, and then the rest will either get freeze-dried or frozen, so that when I need onion, I can just go in the freezer, take out what I need, use it into my dishes, and be done. If I end up with a lot of them, I may throw them in the freeze dryer so that I can put them away and I have them for long-term storage. So when I go through these, just to kind of go over how we'll use them, I keep all the onion peels. All the peels from the red onions will go into our steamer with any other vegetable scraps that we have, and we use that for making veggie broth. I can do the same with any of the yellow onions, like this one that are starting to sprout here. I can put the peel in with the ones to make our vegetable broth and then vegetable bouillon out of, or I can put these aside and use them for making something called golden broth. If you want to see the video that I have about curing these that I had put up last July, I'll make sure to leave a link in the description to that as well. I'll also make sure that I leave you a link for making our veggie broth with all our veggie scraps. As we're going through our pantry challenge, this is a great time for us to be going through, figuring out what it is that we have that needs to be used up, and also to make note. Now, some people would say, why even bother with the red onions if you know that they're not going to last as long as the yellow onion? Now, for us, we love red onion. I guess it's just that simple. But we know these aren't going to last as long. Normally, we get through these a lot quicker. We ended up with a lot more onions this year than we thought we were going to have. So that's why we still have some of these hanging around. But even the ones that are sprouting, it's not a loss. I have some options. I can cut the tops off and use them in a stir fry, an omelet. I can freeze those as well. Or I can cut the top off the onion, put it in some water, and let these keep growing so that I constantly have a supply of the tops to be able to use in cooking. And they'll last a while. The big thing you have to do if you're going to do the top of an onion is make sure that you change the water regularly, or it gets kind of slimy and then they'll start to rot. So that's something that you want to make sure that you do. So the next step for me is to get all these together, sort through them all, and see what I end up with. So this is where we ended up. We have quite a few red onions that need to be chopped up and taken care of. But out of all the yellow onions that I have, I only had 2 that had started to sprout. So these are also still doing great. What I'm going to do is put them back in the bag, get these all back into the pantry where it's nice and cold. I did end up with a bag still, quite a few of the red onions that have not started to sprout yet. So those will be able to go back in the pantry as well. And what we do is, you see all these bags that I've got, I save bags, like this one is from a melon. And what I do is I just turn it upside down, put the onions in, put a piece of string through the top, and then I can tie it shut. So that way if I want to hang the onions, like I had these actually hanging, I've got the string through the top so that I can hang these if I want to, or I have baskets that we have hanging in the pantry as well where I can keep my onions. Now I order all my seeds, and like for these with the starts, I order them from Pantry seeds, and I'll make sure to leave a link in the description for them as well. And the other thing to keep in mind is anything that you put into your pantry, you should always be checking periodically, because if one of these onions were to go bad and you start getting soft and squishy, it could ruin all the rest of the onions that I have. So keeping up on these is really important. As you see, I have quite a bit of work ahead of me this afternoon. So I'm going to get into getting these onions done, getting them taken care of. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you have a favorite onion that you like to grow, we'd love to hear what it is. Maybe it's something that we'll be able to try in our garden. And until next time, everybody, take care and have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our videos and want to help us out, please like this video and subscribe. If you know someone who would like our videos, make sure to share, as this really helps our channel out. Again, thanks, and see you soon.